Alrighty then, welcome to the episode 1 of 2023 Mentorship Monday. We'll be doing these every Monday. Make sure that you smash that like button and the subscribe if you want to participate with us in the future. And the, what's the word? We're going to be eligible, that's the word I'm looking for, eligible for $100 prizes. So every time on a Mentorship Monday, we are going to be figuring out a way to get some prizes for some folks hanging out with us. So make sure you are subscribed to that, and we will talk about how we get into that. But tonight, let's focus in on the training. We've got a lot to cover. If this is your first time with us, again, you have probably been missing out, but I am Vinny Emini, the host with the most. We are going to be talking about AlgoBox Pro here tonight. So if you're a little bit lost, you don't have AlgoBox installed, make sure you click the links down below. Go get yourself installed. You can do the 2-week free trial with us, and of course, training on the website there is free. There are 36 videos to get you set up. First 6 videos are for installation and all that kind of good stuff. And then after the first 6 videos, you're going to get into the in-depth training. We start with risk management at the top, and then we work on through our strategies. You do need to make sure you understand our strategies. Otherwise, you're going to be a little bit lost. We focus on multi-time frame analysis and confluence on our entries. That is the key to our program and why our traders do so well compared to others. Now, again, there's no guarantees that you're going to have success here. You may still be one of those people that trading may not be for you. I will tell you straight up, right up front, that trading is not for everyone, and it is one of the most difficult things that you're going to do. Everything is designed to trick you in the markets. If you think that you've got something that makes sense, everybody's like, oh, that really makes sense. That's going to lose you dollars. Probably write that one down there. That is the first tip there as we start into 2023. But if you're hanging out here with me, I'm going to show you how we approach the markets in a much different way. We're going to let the tools do the work, let our tools do the analysis. We are going to do the executions. That is what we focus in on. Now, I'm out here live. I do need to figure out a few more things with the live stream scenario. I may not be doing live every Monday. We may do some pre-recorded stuff. That way I'm not, I tend to, when I come out here, I feel like I need to have a conversation back and forth with people. I try to answer as many questions as I can. But I think that from a Mentorship Monday perspective, if I need to get straight into some training, it may be better for me to be able to kind of go back and forth where I can kind of pause and take my time with things. But when I'm in a live conversation, they're gonna, even right now, like I'm kind of babbling on, figuring out like what's the next thing I want to say. Whereas in a pre-recorded scenario, I may not waste as much of your time, and that is the last thing that I want to do. I hate wasting my time. I'm sure you hate the same. So I'm going to try to be as succinct as possible in these, but I will open up the floors for sure at the end to ask questions. We will have an open mic night section as well. If you want to participate in that, you will need to be inside of our Discord channel chat. This is the primary area where we have our communications with the rest of our crew. I will show you that here real quick. If you are not in with us, you're kind of going to be a little bit lost, and this is probably the easiest way to get acclimated with what we do and get all of our training right in here inside of our Discord. If you'd like to join it, it is discord.gg/Vinny Emini. That link is down in the description of this video as well. On the left-hand side, there are a lot of places to get acquainted with things. Main thing, you'll want to come right here into the main Emini main chat or public access and all that kind of good stuff. Now, there's also an audio box room when the markets are live. This is where the majority of our traders are hanging out. Right here in the Emini trade floor, you simply need to click right there. You will hear the aggressiveness of buyers and sellers on the tape, and you will find nothing like that. Well, there's some things out there that try to do what we do, but you'll find out there's a much bigger difference in that, and that is also available for free. Speaking of free, one more item that we're going to talk about here tonight, because I'm going to deep dive into the Enigma platform. You want to come right here to McAfee Ultimate Alerts. This is the primary filtering for all things E-mini. Now, mind you, my focus, I am Vinny Emini, so I focus on E-minis. However, our system, I want to make sure you know, does work on Forex. It works on stocks. It works on crypto, as well as futures and the E-minis that we talk about here. So if you have not downloaded it already, again, without further ado, I'm going to get into some of our training strategies here tonight, but this is our primary filter. It's as simple as this. You look right here on the color bar, the most recent one that's come into this Discord section right here. This is, again, free. If you want to use this with your own trading, if you don't want to use our system, I would suggest that you come and at least use this as your primary filter to know what direction are the majority of the current correlated instruments in the E-mini space. What direction are they going? If you're trading in that direction, you will find your biggest plays are going to work that way. It's a great way to filter sides of direction. At the end of the day, what are we doing? We are trading going long or we're going short. So you want to make sure that you are going in the direction of the wave that's coming with you. You do not want to be trading against that unless you're going to scalp it. And that is one of our primary filters right there. Speaking of that primary filter, this MACV filter is also incorporated into the Enigma system. So I'm going to go in that here because, again, we've got a lot of training out there on our normal standard setup, which I'll briefly touch on right here before we get into things. And only because this is the very first episode 1. So if you're coming in going, hey, I'm a little bit lost here, there are only 5 charts that you need, or 5 time frames with our 5 charts for every instrument that we trade. So if you come into a scenario where you watch somebody trading and you've got a 4K workspace, that 4K workspace has 20 charts on it. That has 4 instruments times 5 charts. That's where the 20 charts come from. If you're a little bit confused by all of that, it is 5 time frames. That's it. Now, if you've been trading with other places, even ICT, if you are an ex-ICT student, or if you are an ICT student, you are, first of all, I will tell you right up front, you are wasting your time. ICT has been proven to be a con artist and a fraud. We have sent our private investigators, and there is, without a doubt, there's no uncertainty about it. The man is a liar and a con artist. He has never made a dime in trading. You need to really think about that if you're going to be wasting your time over there. He is a great con artist. He speaks with confidence. And if you go out there and study psychology, go Google it real quick and look at why people follow people who speak confidently. ICT, that's his trick. He speaks very confidently and he has no problem lying. He has no filter. He is a narcissist and he does not care what happens to people other than himself. So again, that's all I'll talk about here with ICT. But he does teach multiple time frames. A lot of places teach multiple time frames. That is important. You do need to take multiple time frames into consideration. Our system does that for you, but we also want you to be able to read it. So starting at the top left up here, we've got the tide, what we call the tide. You do, if you think about water, the tide, you want to go in the direction of the tide. So if the tide is rising, then we want to be going into the direction that rising tide rises all ships, right? So right. So all of the instruments that are riding on that tide, if we're going up, which you can clearly see here for the NASDAQ, we are rising, fine. We want to go in the direction that way for the biggest plays, right? Also want to be hesitant for going against it. Now, this one right here, this is the wave. So if the tide is rising, but you know how waves go, right? You can have ups and downs. So in the middle of the tide rising, you could be falling right here, going down that wave. This is the time frame there for the wave. So we do want to take that into consideration. Obviously, you know, I'm not trying to act like this is rocket science or anything, but don't we want to have the wave and the tide going with us? Well, those are our absolute best plays. Those are the ones that are going to be our, what we call our big or bigger plays. But can we trade against that? Yes. When the wave is going down, can I take a little, I want to say a scalp. It's more than that. Could I take 20, 30, 40 ticks in the opposite direction? Yes. So we want to know when those opportunities are going to come. That is what our wave chart is going to represent. So on the far left-hand side, we've got our 2 high time frames, and then we've got what we call a filter chart right here in the center. This is our primary filter right here. We almost always want to be in the direction of this center chart right here. We kind of speak like this. On the left-hand side, we want our high time frames on the left, and we want that to filter. Think of this being a filter pass-through right here. And as we pop out to the other side, I only want to be in the direction of this one. Now, hopefully this filter goes along with one of these, at least one of these, but the biggest and best plays, of course, as simple as if these are both going long, and then we get a long right here, this is going to be, we have our absolute biggest play opportunities coming into that. So over here on the right-hand side, this is going to be our lower time frames. We've got 2 lower time frames. One is big and one is small. As simple as that. If you are going to be looking for the bigger plays, you want to take them off of this top chart. If you want a little bit smaller scalp opportunities with the least amount of risk, you're going to take those off of the lowest time frame. Everybody got that? Okay, so high time frames over here, we filter through, and we are going to execute, though, with the least amount of risk off of these 2 charts. I will finalize that with, this does actually make sense. Speaking of things that make sense but lose you dollars, it is important that you know that if you take a trade off of one of these, you have high reward opportunity, but you also have high risk there. So what we do by doing this methodology of going through that sender filter with the high time frame direction, now we've got low risk, which comes off of these lower time frames where we enter in off of what we call the ripple. So we have the tide, we got the wave, we filter through, and we enter in on the ripples. And we think of the ripples like those little ripples on the water, where the amount of risk that we have is the elevation of a little tiny ripple on the water. Okay, so we want to enter in off of the ripple risk in the direction of the tide and the wave reward. Everybody got that? That is a key to our system and why we have 5 charts. Could people, like ICT and these, unfortunate, newbie traders and low IQs that love to scam people. The entire ICT fraud network, they're trying to scam you. They're trying to lie to you. They want to sell you signals. Well, there is some truth. That's the most dangerous part of the ICT crew and the crowd over there, is that there are some truths there. Yes, you need to have multiple time frames, but you need a system that's got quantitative edge, in my opinion. You can take your pick on that. So how do we do it? This is how we operate. Now, do we have simpler models? Do we have simplifications of this level of complexity? Now, again, I don't believe this is overly complex. If you kind of come into our training, we'll talk about learning to read from left to right. It's very simple. I mean, everybody reads. I think reading is probably more complex than our system, in my current opinion, and particularly driving. If you have ever driven a car, you could blank your brain. Everybody who drives a car, which hopefully you're of age to drive vehicles. I know if you're an ICT student, you're probably under the age of, ICT loves to con 16 to 19-year-old kids. So maybe you don't have your driver's license yet, but most of you can drive a car. And if you could roll yourself back to the very first time you drove in a car, but mind you, let's pretend that you never even rode around with your parents, you never rode around with anybody, but you saw a car for the very first time. You've never even ridden one. You don't even have the concept of what a pedal on the left or the right is for gas and brake and steering wheel. You don't know any of that stuff, but you sat into a car for the very first time. Look around the dashboard. Look at all the stuff you have to do. You have to put your hands on the wheel. You've got your feet down there. You've got pedals left and right. You've got buttons all across the dashboard. Your car, I promise you, is more complex than driving our system. Okay? Tell yourself that, understand that, know that you can learn it. If you can learn how to drive a car, you can learn how to drive AlgoBox. It will take some time. We actually encourage you to spend 120 days with our program to feel comfortable and ready to go with our system. And 40 days of that is all it takes to actually learn it. To absorb it is 40 days. And then you need 2 sets of 40 days, we believe, in practice so that you will know how to do it. So that's where our 120-day program comes from, if you've been asking. All right, so let's get into the more fun part here tonight, where we know how to read from left to right. Most of the people have been around here with us for a while, and if you go through our training program, you know how we do this. You know the left to the right. You know the 120-day program. Fantastic. But what about this new stuff, Vinny? What about this new system called the Enigma? Well, let's go over there and have some fun with that. Now, I'm plugged into what we call market replay. This is synonymous with market playback. If you hear either of those two words, market replay or market playback, these are synonymous. Back in NinjaTrader 7, they used to call it market replay. Now they call it playback. However, they still refer to the data itself as market replay. So it becomes a little bit confusing. Make sure you understand that. We go over this in the market replay section. But while we're here tonight, if you're wondering, well, how am I sitting here with trades here after hours? This is another great way of how our system has advantages that you trying to sit there and trade with a naked chart, you have no advantage there. You can't do market replay like we can. We can literally market replay anytime we want. We can practice on the weekends. We can practice intraday. This is how you do it. So you want to set this up, and you've got 2 options here. You can use the historical data. Historical data is data that you already have on your system, because if you connected to live markets today, then your computer downloaded all of that data, which is just, at the end of the day, it's one stream of data. It is quantity, price, and time. That's it. That's it. That's the only 3 things that are streaming to your computer. So as a computer programmer, you need to think in those terms. What do we do with that 3-column wide data? Okay, that is thinking like a quant, understanding what you're getting to your PC. Now, the historical data is stored in files on your machine, and that's there every single day. Now, what is market replay data? There is a difference. Market replay data is, you can have level 1, level 2 data. I'm not going to get into that here tonight. But in general, you are going to want to be using historical data with us because it's just faster to load. However, if you needed to go back, like let's say 6 months ago, and you wanted to trade a specific day, you would want to go download that market replay data from NinjaTrader, and it's very easy to do that. You can do that in their interface, but I'm not going to teach that here tonight. Just know that you can do that. And right now, I have this pressed. I'm pressing play, and you can speed it up or slow it down. Right now, I am running at approximately 6x, and you can see the time of day that it's running, 2:20 a.m. as of today. This is a Monday, and I'm going to actually run this to 9 a.m. here in a few minutes, and we're going to do some live executions right here on our live stream here tonight. So let's do some of that, shall we? First, let's switch over to the Enigma workspace, because this is some of the newest stuff. And those of you guys who have gotten Enigma installed, you guys have been watching me for the last few months trading with this, so you probably have a good idea of how we execute with this. But this is what I kind of call trading for dummies. Okay, this is taking all of the stuff that I'm doing, high time frame, order flow. We are taking structure, we are taking direction, we are taking overbought, oversold conditions via stochastics and our OBOS ultimate system. We are taking many things into account when we are running the Enigma. This is what we call the Enigma. The Enigma, we don't go into details on teaching you everything that is inside of this one. This is what we kind of call the magic pack. If you want the proprietary entry system that we have via AlgoBox inside of the Enigma is enigmatic. What does that mean? It means it is a mystery. We are not going to tell you everything that is inside of it, but you can play with it yourself and see how powerful those entries are. All right, so I'm going to fast forward this here to Monday 9 a.m. because at 2 a.m. there's probably not a whole lot of activity. In fact, I don't see not even a single Enigma here. The best time for the Enigma strategies is kind of like it is during the daytime. You want the early morning, not really early morning, but the morning session for the New York Eastern time, which is going to be 9 a.m. to noon. Now, the official New York Open is 9:30, but again, right there at 9 o'clock to about 11:30 is the perfect window, 2.5 hours for that system. So if you are trading with that system, you will want to try that out. All right. Let's go and see if we can find some of those. So in my market replay, I'm going to go to, if you right click anywhere in the in this area, let me press Control 4 here. I think I've got to try to use that more. Helps me to zoom and move at the same time. All right, can I right click this? Yes, there we go. So go to, this is the go to feature. I'm going to click on go to, and I want to change this. I want to go to 9 a.m. All right, I'm gonna press OK. So that should get our charts to where we want it to be. Give that a moment to do some calculation. While that's catching up, let me see if I missed any questions down here. Any questions so far? Take a quick pause for any questions here. Let's see. Speaking of ICT trades, look at the Discord chat. Oh, did I miss Discord? Can you have access to the ICT members chat, please? Crypto Ace. You know, there are some people that are just, you can't fix stupid. You can fix a lot of things. If you're an intelligent person, we can solve that. If you're dumb, we can't solve that for you. All right, so 9 a.m. I'm gonna go ahead and press play here, and let's see if we can see some enigmas show up. Now, before some of those come up, let me do a blank sheet here, and let's go Control K. Okay, so one of the very first things that I think you should do if you are trading Enigma, morning or afternoon, of course, I already told you, time of day I think is important, and let's go ahead and put that in first. Okay, so time of day, we'll call it the Todd. 9 to, just call it for easy sake, PM EST. Okay, 2, first thing you should do is identify the nearest ACC. What is that? That's our accumulation zone. We'll call it the AZ for now. But usually you'll hear me refer to that in our videos as ACDC. So ACDC, this is the way that the markets move. Accumulation zones, then distribution. We want to go accumulate, we want to distribute. We want to ride the distribution leg. The distribution leg is, those are those big legs that we call impulse legs. Oftentimes traders react after an impulse leg. We do also, we take those into account, but we are anticipating when those are going to show up. Yes, we won't see any enigmas on R2Y, YMES, not set to be days. That's not necessarily true. It depends on the number of bars of data, but yes, in general, Alex had just put a good thought in there on some of the days to data to load. We'll talk about that here in just a minute. So identify the nearest accumulation zone, and you'll see why we want to do that to begin with. And we want to draw a box on the AZ. Okay, real simple. And then from there, I do think that you should pair the Enigma. Some of the good pairings with this, I like to pair with the DCDM and the AOs. Okay, now if you go through our training program, we do an and sign here. You guys have seen me in my live streams pairing these for the last few months. We did this since November. We did November, December, and January here. Been out there nearly every single day live streaming that, so you guys can go and peek at that as well. We're going to pair those with DCDMs, and you're going to see why we want to do that here in a moment. Okay. So there are inside AZ versus outside AZ plays. Okay. Take a quick screenshot right here. This is what you're going to be doing if you're going to be using the Enigma system. Again, we'll be focused on that here tonight. We will talk about some of the other items as well. And we're going to do next week a very specific training around the Alpha Omegas. Now, speaking of Alpha Omegas, you guys need to be following a guy named Mike Schwartz. I'll type out his name here in just a moment, but he is out there on Discord as well. He does a fantastic job, probably better than me, in the way that he speaks and teaches about things. He can do video editing, and I cannot. So, Mike, type it properly. Mike Schwartz on YouTube. He's done the Alpha Omega trainings already. Some really cool strategies around that. There are multiple strategies that you can do around using those Alpha Omegas in various settings. It is a more complex set of strategies around that, which is why I want to do an entire video around it. There's multiple strategies that you can use on those, but make sure you guys are following him already. Go take a pause on the video right now, follow that guy, and I'm going to give you 2 more people to follow. If you don't want to follow me, I am going to tell you some other people tonight that you should go and follow that has nothing to do with AlgoBox, has nothing to do with me. If you are a naked trader, this is for the ICT students who are just like, you know, Vinny, I like to trade from my telephone, I like to trade on naked charts. I'm at least going to give you guys some people that are not complete effing frauds like ICT. Okay, so if you are an inner circle trader diehard, but you would like someone who isn't trying to defraud you constantly, who actually has experience, who actually has track records, who actually will trade there in front of you, I'm going to give you 2 names. Are you ready? All right, so some of my old mentors. Are you ready? Here are my 2 mentors. One that you should follow. Where should I put these in? How about an order by my own order? Who did I go to first? So Oliver Velez and Joseph James. Oops. Oh man. Well, I was trying to type some stuff underneath that. But go check those 2 guys out. Oliver Velez there. And yeah, thank you. Thanks, Curtis. Yeah, type those there in the chat. Thank you very much. And Joseph James. Now, you want to see some guys that can literally like mark up a chart, draw up your charts, price action, quote unquote price action, where you're drawing out on naked charts, but they're basically looking for structure. Because here's my issue. I'm gonna talk about this real quick. Been around. What is price action? Okay, this is support and resistance, which is just so basic. One of the funny things about ICT is that he makes support and resistance complicated. Okay. And structure. Okay. This is, in my opinion, very weak on its own. Does it work? Sure. There are places, any strategy works. People need to understand this. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you as a mentor to tell you something about the students who say, well, what do you mean, Vinny, it doesn't work? I mean, I see it work. I see it on the left-hand side of the chart. I see, this play. Oh, look, it worked out right there. I will tell you this, you can go out there and Google any trading strategy and you will find a place on the chart where that works. Yes, I promise you, you will. The hardest part for you is when you figure out that in real time, when you are trying to develop those bars, that same play can become a different play in one single bar. But what I just said, that one play that you're thinking about can turn into literally the opposite style of play that could also have been Googled, and probably another strategy, maybe whether you're looking into a continuation strategy or you're looking for a reversal strategy, a return to the mean, as they say. A lot of them say, oh, it's a mean reversion. This is just a fancy name for, oh, we're pulling for a reversal. Mean reversion strategy. One that's a continuation could immediately turn into a mean reversion, in the single bar. And the problem is these fake gurus like ICT will not show you that. That's why they don't trade live in front of you. And they cherry pick their trades. They trade on multiple laptops. That's what ICT does. That's his main thing. We have caught him in this and confirmed by his own family members that he sits there at a machine, at a desk with multiple laptops. He doesn't trade on a system like this. He trades on his phone. He's got one little recording he's going on his phone, and he's got 2 or more little laptops. Usually what he likes, his favorites are these little Surface Pros because they don't take up as much space and he can type real fast on them. And then he sits there on those 1-minute charts and he's got 1 minute per bar to type out little texts that he does, and then he speeds it up and puts a little music on it. And you guys believe, oh, he trades like this in every single trade. Folks, stop believing it. Stop. Just stop it. This is an old trick. This isn't even new. This is old hat, old tricks. So cut it out. Anyhow, price action, support, resistance, structure, and feelings. Gut feelings, which are the worst ever. Okay. This is the problem with those. Okay. So be careful around that. Now, some of what they do is good. I think identifying accumulation distribution zones. I mean, everybody knows the markets move in those. But as far as people trying to, ICT likes to rename wide bar fills, FVGs. Dude, this concept has been around for a long time. Wide bar fills. However, that's not enough. Wide bar fills have been replaced by a simple moving average. If you were to just put a simple moving average on your chart, it is better than an entry on an FVG over and over again. But as long as the market's moving at a 45-degree angle, I will tell you the majority and the most amount of strategies that are out there are working when the markets are moving at 45 degrees. And what you will notice is that in every single video that you'll ever see from ICT, the market's already moving at a 45-degree angle, and he's like, oh, look at me, got me an entry. Some kind of pullback into a direction. It's all a bunch of horseshit. Be careful. Be very careful. And then support and resistance targeting a prior pivot. Really dumb. Really dumb. Just be careful. Okay. So, but if you do want to follow some price action people that'll actually show it to you in real time, and you're not going to be sitting there getting cherry picked trades from somebody, go follow those 2 guys, Joseph James and my original OG, Oliver Velez. That guy's been around a long, long time, and really strong teachers, good teachers, and they don't waste your time. ICT is sitting there telling you all of his, personal stories for forever and making simple things complicated. Those 2 guys at least respect your time, and they make simple things simple. And complex things, they try to simplify those, whereas ICT does the opposite, so that you feel dependent on him, so that he gets his God complex and feeds his narcissistic BS. Got me? Okay, so let's go. Any questions that I missed there? If you record for your nice. Okay, so let's move on here. This is probably too fast for this. The market has just opened 9:35, so I'm going to put this back down to 1x here. And let me see, what was the most recent? I don't even see one. Actually, I might have the problem that someone just mentioned, that I need to add more days of data on my chart because this is a Monday. So someone had mentioned just a moment ago that you need to have 3 days of data for this to calculate, and they are correct. Let me pause this for a second and let's see if I can pull up that data. So on my charts here, I'm going to set this to 3 days of data. Now, you don't normally have to do this unless you're coming in on a Monday like we are, where you need that Friday data in there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on each of these charts here. Good for you to become familiar with your charts and your features. Very easy. All I'm doing is right-clicking on each of these, selecting data series, and then the number of days I am setting to data series. And this again only has to do with the fact that today is a Monday. Any other day you can leave that at 1. probably fine because there's enough bars that have already been produced for that single day. Okay. Wait for it. Whenever you're trying to figure out whether ours is still calculating or not, very, very top right, you'll see a little tiny thing there. It says calculating up top. So we'll let that finish out there and then play. All right, there we go. All right, so now it's all catching up, and I see some enigmas showing up there. So we can trade these. We can trade these naked. These are such very, very powerful signals that we can play those on their own. But the first thing I like to do is identify. Oops, no, that's caught up yet. Might have broke it. Hold on. This moment right here is one of those moments where I'm like, this would be great if I had done this pre-recorded. Let's see. Are these not? Here. Why not have RTY data? Vincenzo says, Oliver helped me develop one of my setups. Excellent, excellent. Great to hear it, my friend. I'm gonna press F5 here. F5 will refresh the chart. Refresh. Start to see some movement. I saw RTY move there a second ago. Does force it to recalculate though, so that's no fun. Okay, I see YM going. There we go. RTY. ES is about to catch up here. All right, there we go. Okay, so all of them are moving here. Now, we probably know that, well, okay, we can tell right now we should probably not be trading the NASDAQ. Why? Speedometer is telling us that speed is way too fast. So what I need to do is I need to find an instrument down here on the ones that's trading at around 100. Okay? On the lowest time frame on the ones, I want something that's right at 100. So I can see over here, I've got my option of RTY right here at 94. So 94, that's a decent speed. So as of right now, choosing between these three instruments, I have a really easy way to detect which one I'm going to be trading on. I want to switch over here to RTY. So I'm going to go ahead and full screen my RTY. And I told you guys the very first thing I want to do is identify the accumulation zone. So I'm going to go ahead and press Control, up, hold Control, up, and I'm going to see if I can find the accumulation zone. Now, right here, we've got a pretty strong up and down move, so I really don't have an accumulation zone identified here. The closest one that we just had was this one right here. So to do that, I'm going to do Control F12 right here, and I'm just going to draw my square right here. So this is one of the first things, if you're doing the Enigma system, I would suggest that you do this. Now, one other item, because I don't have the help with McAfee Ultimates right now, because I am doing market replay and I'm after hours. So the McAfee Ultimate system is not going to be showing me that. Now, just to remind you guys what I'm talking about, what is that? Visually, if I'm over here in my Discord room and I select McAfee Ultimate Alerts, remember that's this. So here is a way to incorporate this with the McAfee, with the Enigma. As of right now, the Enigma is the only indicator that has this. In future versions, we're actually going to include this in some of our other systems, so that's going to be cool, right? If you guys think that's pretty cool, I don't know, we gotta type in some stuff. How about we type in the word AlgoBox? You guys spam the chat with AlgoBox if you think it's gonna be cool to have the McAfee Ultimate incorporated into our other systems, not just the Enigma, where you can actually filter based on the McAfee Ultimate right there in your chart without the need of being inside of Discord. Is that cool? You guys like that? Excellent. Try to get some interaction here. All right. So that was our most recent accumulation zone there. Now let's look for the next one right down here. I'm going to do one more thing here. I'm going to right click and I'm going to go into my indicators. And for the Enigma, I'm going to add color coding. Let me show you guys what that does first. So inside of my settings, I've got these two sets of filters right here. I've got MacView filtering. This won't show you a signal unless the MacV agrees with its direction. What do I mean with that? That means that unless the MacV is green, I will not show you a green. If it is not red, I will not show you a red. Simple as that. Does that make sense? So if you want the perfect entries off of the MACVU, then you simply select that right there, and then you will guide your own exits. Make sense? Now, this is a plus and a minus. Be like, oh, why would you not want to do that, Vinny? Well, I actually personally don't like to do this one because I also like to use the enigmas as exit points. And sometimes I do scalp in the opposite direction against those, so I like to see both. But there's advantages to both. If you're going to be doing target 1, target 2 off of the lows, or after the lowest time frames, this is actually really great to have. If you're trading a trader funding program, this is really great to have. Okay, now we can have this secondary option right here, color code those, where I will at least know whether or not the MACV is going with me or against me, and this has signal strength direction coding in it as well. So it won't just be green or red. You will also have a neutral, which is yellow. You will also have a strong buy, which will be blue, and you will have, I'm sorry, it's bright green, and we will have a pink for strong. We'll show you that here in just a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and do the color codes right now. So you notice that we had some reds and some greens in there. Let's see if this green still shows up right here for that. No, you see that green one now shows me that, hey, that one is not the ideal right now because technically the MACVU is what color? This tells me that the MACVU color is the color right there. It is red. So if I were to, during the daytime, at this time of day, this would mean that the MACVU is saying, hey, I need to be looking for shorts here. A green is not going to be a good one. Now, this one turned pink, which means this is a strong sell. Okay? And if you know our color codings, pink is a strong sell, blue is a strong buy. Now, I think we're going to change that soon. Right now, we've got bright green. Don't ask me why we didn't do blue. I think it's oversight on our part. We will get these to match exactly with our MACV in the near future, but for right now, you know, just we'll hang with it. So there was a very nice short here that I could have taken quite easily. It is after an accumulation zone. I can copy this one right now and move it on over, and we see we've got about the same size accumulation zone working right here. Pretty easy to see. As we get on the opposite side of that box, wouldn't you want to take a trade on the top of that box? Yeah, so this is why I like to see these. I want to see these on the opposite side of the accumulation zone in the direction of the MACV. So had I been paying attention and not gabbing on here with you guys, I would have taken this short right here. And let's see if we go even just to the other side of that box, let's see how many ticks could have gotten from that one. I'm going to use the ruler tool. So I'm going to go up here in my drawing tools, and I'm going to select the ruler right here, Control F3. So if I enter in right here and I get to the other side of the box, that is going to be 1.7 times, what is RTY? Is it, these are 10 ticks each? So 1.7 times 10, no. Ones. Oh, they're 0.5s. What? No, 10s. It can't be that many ticks. Hold on a second. We're on the ones, right? 1.7 times 10, so 17. Okay, yeah, it's 10. I was like, I'm driving myself crazy there. All right, so this is 1.7 times 10. It is 10 ticks per handle on the RTY. I don't like to talk per handles. I wish. Here's my request to NinjaTrader. Would you guys please just select this and put the ruler to have tick values instead of giving me the Y value? It's really dumb. You always have to do your own mental calculation. Isn't the whole point of having a ruler to be easy? Why do you guys give us 1.7? It's dumb. All right, anyway. All right, so 1.7 times 10, because we're on RTY, and that is 10 ticks per handle. So 1.7 times 10, and you got your 17. Make sense? There is a tick value? Wait, did I not know it? Hold on. Wait, are you saying there's a property to this? Price. Display it in ticks? Oh my word. Who just told me that? Ninja Scalp. My mind is blown. You're telling me I could have done that this whole time? Okay, I only use this for demonstration purposes, and I hardly ever use this, but I'm trying to do this a little bit better. Save it as default. Yeah, good idea. Hold on. Let me save that as default. Thank you. While I'm in there. So I am right-clicking on my ruler tool, and I'm going to go down here to template, and I'll save. I'm going to save that as default. That is awesome. Okay, well, no more guessing games for me. I'll literally be able to draw that, and now it's in ticks. Thank you, Ninja Scalp. All right, so just to just to the front side of that is basically a free 17.6 to the front of the box. Now, let's say that you hold this out until the next Enigma. So now you're getting a few extras, and I've got Control F3 right here, and we're gonna go right here to the next Enigma, and that's gonna give you 26 ticks. Oh man, I love how this is just kicking it out. So you're getting a full 26 ticks from Enigma to Enigma. That is awesome. So now I want to take off. I do want to, now again, this could have gone right back up inside of accumulation zones. Sometimes the accumulation zones go and go and go and go and go. You guys have seen those, right? So if I'm going to enter in on Enigma, I do want to take target one at the other side of any accumulation or distribution zone. That is what I'm trying to teach you guys, and why I say help number one is go ahead and draw the nearest accumulation zone and then take the Enigma in the direction of the MACV. Got that? Is that simple enough? That's what we want to do. Now, we pair that really nicely with our double cross, double moves. Now, on this chart setup, I don't have that added, so I'm going to go ahead and let's add that right now. Go into the indicators, and I'm going to add double crosses, and I'm going to turn on. Oh no, I do. It is. I'm sorry. It's on. Let me see. When was the most recent one? I don't have enough drawn back, so let me add how many of those back into the indicators. I'll change the setting in here, so I'll see a few more of those. I'm going to go into Flowmaster crosses, and right now number of horizontals, number of crosses 100. Well, I should be seeing more crosses. Oh, did I just find a bug? I just found a bug live. It's another bug we got to fix before we put out this next release on Wednesday. Oh, number of bars back. Past 500. I gotta go to 5,000. Not 50. I just didn't draw them all. Give that a moment to calculate. There we go. So that's for performance. So, you know, again, we try to cater to people that have i5s when possible, but again, the ideal, you really do need to have a pretty spiffy computer if you want to take advantage of all of our bells and whistles. All right, so double cross, double moves inside of an accumulation zone. Let's do a pop quiz right here. How many of you guys can tell me if a double cross, double move shows up inside of an accumulation zone, should I take that as a continuation or should I take that as a reversal? Let's see how many people know the answer to that. Those of you guys who are hanging out here with us tonight. In our mentorship program, I see reverse, reverse, reverse. Anybody says it's a continuation? Nope. Oh, somebody said a continuation. We got one person that was wrong. That's okay. You're not going to get it wrong again. All right, it's the whole point of mentorship here tonight. Yes, we are going to reverse that. So anytime, if you have got an accumulation zone, let's do it in blue because that's what I tend to call our boxes in. So if a cross shows up inside of here, double cross, double move, especially if they are up and around the top of an accumulation zone. So it's going to draw you a target up here somewhere. Our price is coming inside of here. We're coming up to here. Whoops, last part was not good. Okay, we've come up to here. So we enter in right here, but we are inside the accumulation zone. So do a continuation would be to go up to and hit the target up above. But if we are inside of an accumulation zone that we've already identified, this is now a reversal. Got it? So here I'm going to do red because I want to reverse this. So I'm going to take this for a short or T1 if it's against my MACV Ultimate. I can go T1, T2 if it is with it. Everybody make sense on that? Okay, so I'm going to be targeting T1 and T2 because the most recent MACV Ultimate from our screen setups here is red. So this is in the direction of the MACV Ultimate. Therefore, I'm taking reversal and I can get T1, T2, which hopefully is also inside of our accumulation zone. We love plays that stay inside of here And it's awesome if we can get one all the way down here, all the way up here, just like we did on our Enigma, right? We want to catch that all the way up. Now, on our last accumulation zone, it wasn't very wide. We're down here on the ones, right? So we have the least amount of risk down here off of the ones, which means our targets are also not that big, right? Now, this applies to any time frame. We can bump this up. We can go to higher time frames. We'll show that here in just a moment just to prove it to individuals. But if I want the absolute least amount of risk, then the lowest time frame is going to be ideal, which is why I always tell people, if you are doing a trader funding program, particularly where you are trying to maximize your reward with the least amount of risk and you want to pass the trader fundings and then get funded and then take their money, then play down on the lowest time frames for your entries, right? And again, we've kind of got a hack for that. I've done a video on that. And if you guys want that one, come in our Discord channel chat. Someone will get you the link or how we kind of hack to go and take on those trader funding programs for all they're worth. So we got that answered inside of, here's a great example right here. So let's go ahead and move. Actually, let's do Control C, Control V. If you don't know that you can do that, another time to talk to you about it. You can, any drawings on your charts, you simply click the chart, Control C, Control V, like you would on any other item. And now I've got another accumulation zone that I can work with. Accumulation zone here is right here, because this is not, this is a distribution leg, right? But we go from distribution to accumulation. We go to distribution, we go to accumulation. So accumulation zone, let's put it properly. Now I'm just moving this one. You may need to adjust it. Let's put it to the proper sizing. Distribution zones, you are basically picking out 2 pivot points at the top, 2 pivot points across the bottom, and there we go. So this double cross right there, what do we do with that double cross? Do we continuation on that double cross right there, double cross, double move? Or should we reverse that and go long? Of course, it's hindsight 2020, but if you had drawn this, even if you had identified this from before, we've got our accumulation zone coming in, we got the top right there. If you start to extend it out, that's right there at the end. Now you're gonna say, well, it broke outside. No, we'll talk about that here in just a minute. That's my next deal, how to easily identify it. Like, well, it's technically outside the zone. That's correct. But we need a 2-legged move outside of an accumulation zone before we want to take one of those as a continuation. That is our next thing to talk about here in a Mentorship Monday in real time. We want double cross, double moves. I'd love a double cross, double move to show up right here. Okay, now this one we only got 1 cross, but if we had a second cross in there, we would want to take that. That would be an easy double cross, double move right there. A 2-legged move outside of an accumulation zone. Okay, I want leg 1, I want leg 2, and then somewhere right about here, this is where I want to see a double cross, double move show up if I'm going to be targeting one of those targets down below for the double cross. Okay, this one ends up doing exactly what we talked about before. This happens all the time, which is why we have those rules, and you're seeing this in real time in market replay. Now, mind you, I can speed this up. Let's go speed this up a bit. Right now we're at speed 77, so we want that to go a bit faster anyhow. It's 9:40 a.m. at this point, so we are 10 minutes past the open, as you can see right down here on our market replay window. Okay, so 9:40 to 9:50, I want to find that reversal, right? So between 9:40 and 9:50, let's see if we get a nice little push down, get some fake outs going down, and then we'll see if we can pop them back up. That's what we want to do between 9:40 and 9:50. Now, if you don't know about that one, again, I am hitting everything here. I won't say everything, but I'm going to hit a lot of things. Everything that we can do while we're going through this here tonight. Between 9:40 and 9:50, this is a reversal time. One of the bigger reversals going to come during this little 10-minute window here. And I want to say it's going to. This is what we're looking for, because I know you say, well, this one time Vinny didn't do it. Well, yes, but you will oftentimes see a very nice reversal pickoff of that MACV center point where you're getting a higher time frame reversal, not a small time frame. We're talking about a bigger time frame reversal. Comes somewhere between 9:40 and 9:50, which is why we try to align ourselves with that. You want to be a double cross freak? Hey, I love the double cross double move. It is still to this day, well, I don't know, Enigma's kind of taking its place, but double cross double move is an absolute #2 favorite for me, and I cannot fault you for that. You can make all the money you need to off of a double cross double move strategy. That's really all you need. You combine that with a little identification of the distribution zones. That's how you make sure that you're not going to get caught off on the wrong side. Here's another one. What am I going to do right here? I'm going to reverse that. So I'm going to go ahead and punch in on a reverse. Now, I don't have an ATM strategy here. I'll go ahead and select the small, and I'll go ahead and punch in again for a small, looking for a target back down inside. My stops need to be above the crosses here. And let's see if we get a reversal off of this one. Let's speed it up just for fun because nobody wants to sit around and wait. 10x speed here. Target 1. See if we get target 2. Target 2. There we go. All right. Now, how many of you guys thought that I was going to lose that one? Come on. Be honest. Be honest. Be honest. Come on. How many of you guys thought I was going to lose that? You felt it, didn't you? You were like, that one's going to go up there, Vinny. It's going to happen. Right? Come on. Admit it. Nope. Brian had belief. He believed me. All right. We don't have any noobs here tonight, man. Everybody here is legit. All right. Let me close out the rest of my trade there, and let's see how we did there. We set this back down to maybe 1x speed here, real time. Real speed there. There we go. All right. So nice little trade there. Now, so what's my small? My small is set to 10 and 15 ticks. So I got a 10 target and I got a 15 target. Not bad. We're up 355, just farting around here on trade 1. And no, that other trade didn't count because when I had reset and set to 9 o'clock, this reset to 0. So if you're watching up here, you'll see that was $355 on that trade right there. Very easy. Okay, now we got one on this side, we got one on that side. You know, you're like, well, how do we know when one's going to go? Look, you'll know. Okay, you'll see. Well, let's keep playing here. Let's set this to like 10x here, and let's see if we get any other fun trade opportunities here. And again, I was not trading this morning, so I do not know. I'm not pre-planning this. I literally just turned this on and said go here. This evening. This is not me going, oh yeah, Vinny, you're setting this up, you know, just perfectly because you already know what the day turned out to be. I really don't. I have no idea. I only traded the afternoon session there. Why RTY and not some other? Oh man, look at this guy showing up at the end of the thing and asking this. I literally answered that question at the very beginning. You can always tell the people who show up late, right? All right, I give Wolf a hard time coming in here, asking a dummy question. He answered that at the very beginning. Why did I switch over to RTY? Everybody answer him in the chat. Tell him why did I switch RTY so that you know that I'm not lying to you that I talked about at the beginning. Everybody here knows. Speed, look at that. Everybody knows Speedo on the speedometer. It told us exactly what instrument to switch to. Go back and rewind and check that one out. Better late than not show up. That's right. That's right. I'm just giving you a hard time, bro. All right, but no, just want to make sure that everybody knows why we're doing that. Oh, we got another double cross reversal. Another one. Look at this. Another double cross. Let's see if it reverses. Is it going to reverse? Yes, it is. So, another one. Could have taken that one. Now, is the speed good right now? No. Earlier when we were taking it, first part of the morning, it was set to 100, right? So easy. Let's just do it. Let's just do it right now. I want to switch to another instrument right now, right? But is this another one? There. These two alone. Now you're up over 350, 350. So you're up $700 plus, and that's with commissions-ish. And we'll call it $680. You're up $680 right now, just taking those two double crosses right there inside the accumulation zone. Are you good with that? Are you good? Are you happy with that? I'm happy. I think it's pretty cool. Okay, let's go to a faster instrument. Why? Because my speed is 63 right now. What am I looking for on the ones? I want a speed of about 100. So which one's closer to 100? This was way too fast. NASDAQ is going nuts. That's at 940 speed. Okay, anybody want to know where I'm looking on the speedometer right now? The speed, this is the average, so we don't want to care about that one. We care about what's the current speed right now. 490, nope, no thanks. This one up here, this one is at 69 on the YM, so let's go and check that one out here. I'm back down to about 5x here, and let's see if we've got any on this one. So I'm going to zoom out here, and let's find our accumulation zone. We got a little 2-tap going on right here. Yep. So let's draw one in right here. Control F12 here. Let's do right to there. And here is our new accumulation zone right here. So we got a double cross here coming back down. What should we do? I should be selling that, right? Now I got my finger over the close. Again, they're not going to all work, but I'm going to take a shot here. See if, oops, oh, I'm going here. Nope, closing it. All right, so we are busting out of that zone. They're not all going to work. We got a loser off of that. No worries. I was still, every single time, I will take that every single time when it is kind of coming to the top of that zone. I would still do the same thing. Now, what do we have up here? I've got a little reversal. What's this one called up here? Gold line reversal, right? Touch the gold line. I'm going to take my first one off at target 1. Target filled right there. Easy little target filled off of a gold line reversal. If you are trying to follow along with us, what is this? Again, why I love the DCDM, because it's kind of like the Swiss Army knife. DCDM, and we have a, let's do yellow here. You'll hear me call it this. Gold line reversal. Okay, this is a little scalp play, 10 ticks off of a gold line on almost any time frame. It really doesn't matter. You can get almost, I don't want to call it, nothing is free. Okay, but if the closest thing is saying, oh, it's free 10 ticks, right, off of one of those gold line reversals, double cross double moves on up there, taps that sucker, you'll almost always see some kind of fluctuation around one of those, and we're going to try to scalp that out for a T1 right there off of a gold line reversal. Now, if I get a blue in my, or a green in my direction, well, I don't have a filter. Let's check our filters first. On our indicators, I want the MACVU filter on, so I'm going to go into my Enigma like we did on the other one. And I'm going to do color code so I still see them all. Right there. And I'm going to go ahead and take off the drawings here on that. Text and marker, I'm going to set to do not plot here just so it's not messy. And nice little entry off of the green Enigma. So right now, this is telling me on YM that the green Enigmas are in play. So if I get another Enigma around that, I definitely want to be caught at that. What other kind of questions we got there? Vinny, Speculator Seth, a scammer. Speculator Seth does not like Vinny, number one. But again, I'm not going to just take on somebody for no reason, okay? Speculator Seth, he is just a really shitty trader. Is he a scammer? Well, you tell me, I'll tell you some facts about him, and you tell me if he's a scammer. He said that he would never sell anything, okay? Is he selling anything right now? Yes, he is. So, number one, did he say he was never going to sell? Yes. Is he selling something now? Yes. Is he shilling for Jigsaw? And is Jigsaw a gigantic turd? In fact, Jigsaw is the nastiest. They are worse than ICT. Jigsaw, Peter Davies, Jigsaw Trading, anybody who is using those Jigsaw tools is a fool. Okay? So, whether he's a scammer or not, he's absolutely a fool. And he is a fool for an organization that literally sends death threats to people, hires hitmen, and will attack families. Not just your family. They will find your best friend's family and go after them. And not just your best friend, like, oh, it's a dude, one of my dude friends. No, my dude friend's wife, who has 6 kids, attacking her at her office. These people are disgusting, shady fucks. Okay, pardon my French. I really did not want to cuss here tonight. But those guys absolutely are disgusting. And I have zero tolerance for anyone using that stuff. And if I find them, I will expose them, period. Yeah, he was selling Jigsaw for forever. And then he's registered. Here's the thing. He gets away with talking all kinds of lies about me over there on Futures.io, because Futures.io is jealous of what we do here. And Futures.io, those guys can't trade, and they shill for Jigsaw because Jigsaw is the only thing that they ever make any money on. So they've got to support their Jigsaw clients, and if you show any other product that's better than theirs, they will cut you off. So That's why on futures.io, I am literally the largest futures trade room in the world. There is not a futures trade room larger than ours, and yet guess who's not allowed to speak? I am not allowed to speak on futures.io. Do you think that's legit? Nope. They lied and said that I was that I had multiple accounts over there. That is a lie. I had 2 accounts. I had the Vinny Emini account and I had my personal Vincent Marchi account. You want to know my name? Sure. Vincent Marchi. Now, do I think that's wise? Do I want to have my name out there? Do I want to be attacked and whatnot? No. But I had 2 accounts. That is pure transparency. And you could go out there and you can look. There is no, they have cut off anything that I ever said on there, which was only 2 posts I ever got to put over there. And then they claimed because I was protecting myself, defending myself, I literally got banned from that site. That is so stupid. In 2 postings. That's it. And when I was on Vincent Marchi, bro, that was back, way back. I don't even know how old that account is of mine, but if you look on there on futures.io, type in Vincent Marchi, you'll see my actual face. You guys want to see my actual face? Go look at my face. I used my real profile picture and my real name back in the day. They wouldn't even let me go back and change it. It is still there. And you'll see me asking a question around combining multiple instruments, trying to grab P&L with multiple instruments. I think it was my question around that. Was one of the main technical support questions. I'm trying to get technical support back in the day. Trying to, again, we all have to learn certain things. I needed to learn. I knew there was a bunch of coders on there, or I thought there was a bunch of good coders on futures.io. But dude, they're all a bunch of turds. They're complete turd fest over there at futures.io. And they are all shilling for Jigsaw. Okay? Because Jigsaw pays, what are they paying? They're like 70% affiliate or something like that. Like, it's crazy. It's the only reason that they're even in business is because they are affiliate all over the place. It's crazy. All right, so there you go. I answered my question. I answered your question on that one. Let's see. I know someone who's doing that. Says he discovered the algorithm, makes thousands a day easily. He said he'll never charge because the markets is always. Now he's charging $2,500 for one-on-one per hour. Well, that is actually the formula. I mean, I could actually draw this out. The formula is this. Number 1, go out there, get an audience, claiming that you're always going to be free. I mean, that's how ICT did it. Oh, I'll be free, I'll be all free, I'll be all free, I'll be all free. I'll never charge, never charge, never charge, never charge. Now, ICT went and said on his first one, then he lies the next lie because he no moral compass whatsoever. He went out there and said, now I'm going to do a charity. I don't need the money because I'm worth 70 million. Sorry, actually, I got this corrected the other day. I thought he had said 700 million. I am standing corrected. Everybody write it down. I'm going to stand corrected right now. ICT may or may not have ever said 750 million. Well, you guys can go talk to Tom Dante. Tom Dante says that he told him in private messages that it was 750 million. I don't have those. He doesn't have them anymore because ICT deleted all of his tweets, which included his private messages. So Tom can't show me evidence of this. But Tom claims that he said it was over $700 million. Whether it was 700 or 750, he couldn't remember. But he's not the only person. There are 2 separate people who have said in private that ICT told them that he was worth 700 or 750 million. Now, I have found the actual posting from him publicly where he said he was worth 70 million. So take off a 0. Now, I don't know where that came from, if it was added a 0 later or took off a 0 later, but we absolutely do have ICT claiming that he's worth 70 million. Now, I sent my private investigators and come to find out that guy ain't worth nothing. Now, when he started selling mentorship, he got a few million, and so that is where his money came from after he sold mentorship. But it was all horse manure. He's never made a dime in trading. All he's done is lost, and he's never been a fund manager, even though we also have him claiming on Baby Pips when he first came out there that he was a hedge fund manager and he was trading 1,000 lots on the SPOOs. We have that all documented. That was all lies. That was all designed to fake newbie traders, and it works on newbie traders. It really does. Yeah, 70 million pesos. Oh, sorry, Vinny. I meant pesos. I was speaking in Zimbabwe's. Dinaris. Something like that. Maybe. But no. Let's see. How do we know if the AZ we draw is correct? Well, you want to know how to draw an AZ, I guess? We could talk about that. No problem. It's a good question. So... price is moving, we're doing these things. In general, the easiest ones to draw are going to be the very clear ones, right? So you need 2 pivots on top and you need 2 pivots on bottom. That's it. That's what you need, okay? And they need to look like they are, approximately in the same location. So this is it, okay? You're just drawing from one to the other. You really only need 2. So you're trying to get it as quickly as it shows up. Right there. That's all you need. and then you can extend that out as far as it needs to go. Sometimes they're short, sometimes they're long, but that's what you need to do. Now I wouldn't go crazy with it. Don't try to. I talked to my good buddy John about this in the past. Like, don't. If you're looking at the clouds, sometimes the cloud's just a cloud. Okay. Some people are staring at clouds and like, oh, I see Homer Simpson in the clouds, or I see Jesus' face in the clouds and stuff like that. Look, sometimes it's just clouds. Okay. Don't try to find things that aren't there. If it's there, it's there. Okay. It should be very obvious. Don't try to force things. And if it's not there, then wait. Okay. That is a hard thing to do, but listen, you get paid in this industry to wait. It should be very clear. If it's not clear, then leave it alone. I would even say like this one really wasn't super clear here. Okay. This one might have been a mistake to have drawn this as an accumulation zone. So taking that first one didn't work, and then come in, boom, the Enigma. I could have gotten long on that. Right. But you want one that's really, really clear. And I always try to tell people, like, look, find one that's very, very clear and draw it. And so you can either filter this by speed, or let's say that I went like this, and I'm gonna look at my 4 instruments that I'm looking at. And what if I just found one that's got an accumulation zone that's very obvious, right? In fact, I can see one on NQ right now, right? This NQ one is very obvious, right? This one is very, very obvious. So we can just draw this one in right now, right? So let's do that. Control 12. All right, very, very obvious. We've got accumulation distribution zone right here, right? Pretty easy to see that. So we could go off of this one, right? But our speed's not good. So what you want, so this is how we filter. This is a good way for you to pick. Like, how do you pick what you should be trading? It's a very simple way to do that. This one is that one's a neutral. Looks like we are carrying up there, and there's a target up above. So very, very strong move up there though. So do I really want to take a shot at that? We'll take a shot anyway, just for demonstration purposes. Worst case scenario, I'll show you guys where we can put a stop at. Speed is very, very bad on a 25. So again, normally I would skip this, but just for demonstration purposes here, I'm gonna go ahead, and if this pops up into that target, I will go ahead and take the gold line reversal off of that target up above. What's the time here? 9:56. BB said, hi, is it okay to use auto SMLK on the ones? Oh yeah, actually you can. You can definitely do that. You can add the SMLKs. That's a great idea. I tend to not, only because most of the time I'm out here demonstrating for people, and what tends to happen is you guys know all of my, I am directly addressing the trollings that I get, okay, or the complaints that we get when people see our standard layout. I'll pull it back up here, so switch over to my other workspace. For it. The inevitable trollings are, oh, they don't want to read all this. There's got too much going on. So I developed the Enigma. I was like, well, what if I took all of my stuff that I'm already doing with order flow and structure and all the internal components with my Fabella dots, all that stuff. What if I combined all of that with a set of series of things, and I combined it all together, didn't show what was there, but then I just went, boom, all this happened right here. Boom, all this happened right there, right? That's what we do. Make more from or manual trades. That depends on the day. It was, in fact, today. So today I had a negative day. I lost today, but my bots made money today. So it depends on the day. Overall, no, I definitely make more money than the bots, because I can adjust risk more. I can get bigger on things than the bots can. Bots are more of a kind of stable able, if you will. Yeah, Vinny, do you make more money from algo trades or manual trading? Yeah, so I think I answered that one. Is it okay to use auto SMO? Yes, you can definitely add the SMOKs. But my point for that is to go, okay, for the people who are complaining, okay, so let me change one of these. Okay. So another one, mentorship here. If you have your charts that kind of get squished up like this means that one of the indicators is set to auto scale, and we want to turn off auto scale on one that has big targeting. I think the crosses is one probably right now that has it on. Crosses, this used to not be a problem because we didn't have full auto DCDMs, but yeah, right here, auto scale. Check it. Let's see if that fits the chart. Not that one. Yep, that was it. So the crosses were set to auto scale. Now, what does that mean? That means that what it's trying to do is it's trying to keep the entire indicator in the screen for it, and so it shrinks everything up and keeps it all there, which is really handy for a lot of things, but not necessarily double cross double move when it's got a target way out, right? So on a double cross double move, if it's got a target way up here, then it's going to squeeze everything in so you can see the target, which is, you know, good and bad. So that's one that you want to possibly fix. That has to do with auto scale. So if you are so for lesson for tonight, another thing to put in your notes is check your auto scale. It's the auto scale setting. Okay. Love-hate relationship with the auto scale. I know, me too, Zeke. Yeah, I mean, most of the time you want it on, but with our system now that we are targeting these big targets, we've got some really cool components inside of our Enigma. And in my next release in the templates, I will also remove that by default. So you hopefully will not have to deal with that. But if you do, again, this is what we're here for on Mentorship Monday. That's why I'm doing this over here on our other channel. This is just me talking to you. You guys can come, bring your questions, and this is what we do on our Monday nights. And if you would appreciate these, you like these, make sure you hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and don't just subscribe. People, you got to learn how to use the bell icon. Okay, I get people all the time, Vinny, I'm subscribed to you, but I don't get your notifications whenever you go live. Have to enable notifications. YouTube does not do that for you by default. Make sure you click on the little bell icon that's next to the subscribe button. Select that bell, hit the drop down, and make sure that it is filled in completely where it says, give me all notifications. Okay. So the whole point of the Enigma is to reduce what we have here, so you don't have to read from left to right. And then you're like, Vinny, I just want one screen, one thing. So I, in turn, created the Enigma. Fine. You want something that's all by itself. You want it on a naked chart. One single thing, one pinpoint entry location. I bring you a completely, entirely, all-encompassed one entry setup system, the Enigma. So you can open this up, filter it. Let's turn it on. Let's see how good that is. I'm going to take everything off of this chart here real quick, except for the Enigmas, and let's look at what the Enigma can do all by itself if you had nothing else on that chart. Let's remove the crosses. Let's remove the ropes. All right, and then we're going to troll the trolls tonight. What do you say? All right, removing the golden ropes. Now let me tell you something. Speaking of my ex-mentors, I guess my mentors, my mentors from the past. Oliver Velez was the one who taught me what we should do with the ropes, okay, and the moving averages. He also likes the 20. That is this other one that he talks about. You'll hear him say a lot if something is far off of the 20. I like the 50 and the 200, but he will teach you a lot of things around how to use the 20 as well, and he's got some really good stuff on that. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove those as well, and just leave the Enigma chart labeler. Chart, there we go. Okay, it's up here calculating. Okay, there's all of our Enigmas. Now let's do one more thing, and let's filter only for entries. Let's get naked as naked can possibly be. Let's go MacView filtering and color codings. Boom and boom. Are you ready? Oh, yeah. Wait for it. All right, so if you use these along with a time of day filter, I think you're gonna find out why these are the bomb.com. I mean, here's 940 to 950. Let's go back to the open. I was telling you, like, run it from 9 to 11. Let's see, just back testing visually what we've got here. So from 9 a.m., here's the first, nope, that's 8:45. Don't do the 45 ones. Look, you can actually tell. I've found this a lot. You could actually probably take reverses right before 9 a.m. These tend to actually fail right around 9:30 to 9 o'clock. Not sure what the deal is with that current time period. But here we go. So here we come in. Here's the 9 o'clock right here. If we were drawing a vertical line, I don't even think you can draw a vertical line. Do a ray. I'm gonna do a ray. All right, so here's your start of the day. Okay. So let's take a peek forward, and now that we got our cool drawing tool where we can check out ticks. So let's say you take your very first one. Is it green? Yes. Is it long? Yes. Can we take it for 20 plus ticks? Yeah. Well, again, most of the time here on the lowest time frames, I want 10 and 15 off of those. 10 and 15, that's an obvious one. You can get that. But just curious, how far did it really go? So we're entering in from there to there. That's at 101 ticks. I love it. So first trade of the day, 101 ticks. Now, these are neutrals. Yellow is neutral, so you don't have to take the neutrals, but even if you did, if you took the neutral colors, okay, neutrals, you can trade both directions. You see that those are reds. Can you get 10 ticks out of that? Yeah. Can you get 15? Yeah. But just off the first one. 31 ticks. About the next one. About this one. Off of that tip, just to right there, how far is that? That's 20 ticks. Let's say that you went all the way down to here. Control F3. Oh wait, hold on. Did I make sure this is right? Yeah, it's in ticks. That's 40 ticks. This one might be a failure. Did we get 10 ticks? We got 18 ticks! Can you get 10 ticks out of that? Can you get T1 out of that? I hope so. All right, how about these next three? These suckers are stacking up here. Saying, uh-oh, it's time to get long. I mean, this is why I love this thing. Let's just start, I mean, pick one. There's 125 ticks. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say that you got in on one contract each. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I swear there's 5 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, sorry. Can't count. So you got 5 of those, and let's say you get 100 ticks each. Times 5, $2,500. On 4 contracts is pretty cool. This one, you might call it a failure. Yep, that one failed. That one did not, I mean, no. It would have stopped out, right? Where's our stop out? So stop out on an Enigma is right there. Did it stop out? Yes. Pretty much to the tick. Yes, it bounced up. I mean, you put it a couple ticks below, but listen, we'll just straight up. Was that a loser? Yes. This one, is that a loser? I don't think so. So we enter in on bar 1. Can we get out 10 ticks? Yeah, it's 26 ticks. All right, let's go to the next one. Uh-oh, we got a failure. Uh-oh, one didn't work, y'all. Oh, no. Oh, oh, boo-hoo. Ah! All right, so again, stop out right back behind here. So there's a loser. Hey, that should make Knobhead happy, right? Knobhead's hanging out here with us tonight. All right, so did that one go 10 ticks? Control F3. Go to the first part of the bar. Did he go 10 ticks? 21 ticks right there. Can you handle that? How about the next one? That one went a long ways. This one failed. It's a neutral. All right, there. That's a strong sell. $43 ticks. That one get 10. 26 ticks. That one's getting pretty tight. What's our time? 9:40. 24 ticks. I mean, dude, are y'all bored yet? There's 61 ticks. There's another 60 ticks. There's 75 ticks. There's, I don't know, 400 ticks. Is this the 940 reversal? Yeah, so look at the time of day. You should be looking for the reversal, right? 940 to 950. Look at the biggest reversal comes in. High time frame reversal comes in. You see it? Yes, Vincent. Yes, I see. It's only 242 ticks, guys. It's only 242 ticks. Weak. Didn't even get 1,000 ticks, Vinny. Oh, it's still going. Oh, it's still going. Wait, Vinny, it's still going. Only 337 ticks. Wait, it's still going. Wait, Vinny, that only called 434 ticks, bro. Vinny, your Enigma sucks. It called the reversal of the day and only got 434 ticks, bro. Oh, man, it's nasty good. I love it. Okay, so that's MACVU filtering plus filtered entries, and then targeting. You know, there's lots of ways to target. So you can put some other things on your chart. You could add harmonics. If you wanted harmonic targets, that's a pretty handy way to do it. If you wanted to go MACVU filtering, but you want to exit on opposing signals, then you would uncheck one item. So you go in here to your Enigma, and we want to uncheck color coding. I'm sorry, we want to keep checked color, but we don't want to filter them. So we're going to actually see them, and we will, you know, basically you've got some exit points somewhere along. Make sense? So if you guys are always like, "Oh, Vinny, how come you don't filter them?" Again, I like to use them for entries and exits. You know, mentally filtering for myself. That's kind of just, that's my personal preference. But if you want something completely mechanical, completely like no thought to it whatsoever, okay, that's what we designed it for. That is your Enigma. That's why it's a separate system all in of itself, because it's internalized everything that we already do. How about this? How long have we been talking for? Wow, have we really been here an hour and 20 minutes already? All right, we'll give it 10 more minutes. So I always tell you guys, maximum levels of concentration, 60 to 90 minutes. So 90 minutes comes up here in 9 minutes. I'm going to give 9 minutes for questions. Questions! I can also, if you want to come onto the microphone and have a chat, I'll be over here in Discord channel chat, and I will open up the microphones, and let's see what kind of questions or conversations you got chatted out. Anything you are confused about with our system, go into Vinny Emini Jams Live. Test 1 2. There we go. So if you'd like to come and have a chat with me, I'm right here on Vinny Emini Jams Live. And if you don't want to type it out, you're like, Vinny, I got a longer question. It's going to be harder for me to ask this question. Come on in here, click on, just literally click it. If you got a microphone on, that's all it takes. And we can have a chat. We'll get your questions answered for you. Yeah, so that's what we want to talk about here tonight, mostly. No questions, just would like to, let's say thank you for everything you do. Oh, no problem. Thanks, Pedro. Appreciate that. For the zero brain cells kind of players. I would say this too. I still think that it's helpful for you to learn our system. However, there are a lot of places that say, you know, earn while you learn. This is the closest thing to earn while you learn that I can probably come up with. Okay, so I mean, I like this one right here, right? This one just comes right up there. Like you feel, oh, market's moving up, boom. And she's like, we stop right here, and here's our hold down point. What's the time of day? It's 10 o'clock, right? So we get that 940, 950 reversal. It's done. We come in, get the next move. Higher time frame comes in. Get a bigger move off of the Enigma. Very, very powerful setups right there. But earn while you learn. You could literally take these, because they're so simple, stupid, right? All you have to do is apply risk management and targeting of your own accord, of your own choice, and based on your own account size, while you're learning the other stuff that takes a little bit longer. I mean, the Enigma is pretty easy. It's only got, is it 2 things? No, I feel like there's 3. It is MACVU filtering. No, that's it. If you want to throw in that, I think that you should draw in accumulation zone and go in after an accumulation zone or at the end of an accumulation zone. that's it. But is the accumulation zone necessary? No. Is it a good idea? Yeah. I think it's pretty handy. Here we go. Trevor said, how would you approach scaling in playing this way? Scaling in playing this way. So scaling in, getting size, we talk a lot about that in our other strategies. On this particular strategy, there's really no specific type of scaling. What size contract account size would, well, let me ask you this. How many contracts would you envision? And I'll tell you how you would play to that many contracts. Scaling in general, look, a lot of people have a lot of different terms for what scaling means, or a lot of different definitions of what the term scaling means. Most of the time people say scaling in, that means that as a trade is going against them, they add to position. So if you wanted to use that definition of it, then on your first entry here, you would enter immediately as the signal shows up. As it comes in against you, you can add all the way through the entire zone as long as it does not break the enigma. Does that make sense? Now, as the trade's going your direction, what we like to do is we like to add on crosses. Okay, now I don't have the cross system turned on here, but let's watch this one for a minute. I'm gonna go ahead and add the crosses and see if we have any area where we can add to position. I am a scale in, but not as it's coming against. Show you. So we like to add on crosses, we add on dots. That's the other thing. So if I added the dots, added crosses, if there were opportunities in here where the dots show up or a cross shows up, I can add to my position. I start with, depending on where I'm at in my count, on 5 trades. We do 5 trades or 5 or 6 trades per session. And a session is defined as 60 to 90 minutes or 5 or 6 trades, whichever comes first. And then if you want to have a secondary session in the day, you don't do them back to back. You should take 2.5 hours between a secondary session. Let the mind reset, go somewhere else, go do something, go work out, go do hang out with your family, do other things, come back to your computer, and then reset yourself mentally, and then apply another 60 to 90 minutes. That's the way that we approach the markets. Just go in full clip. So you should never go in full clip if you're trading in a live market. When you are, and by live, I am specifically saying non-trader funding, because trader fundings are not live. Trader fundings, dude, you could do that all day because they're not trading live, and you're not going to be stop hunted on a virtual account, which is what trader funding programs are. Trader funding programs, while, you know, it's like, oh, it's live because you get paid. Well, I mean, kind of, but not really. You're playing a video game and they're paying you to play if you win. Okay, that's the way that you should look at a trader funding program. You can go all in if you're on a trader funding program. Should you do that in a live market? No, you're going to show up as a block order and then they're going to hunt you. So, does that answer that? I actually go into detail in that in our video trainings as well, why I tell you to enter in like a machine gun, but more of a semi-auto machine gun. You're ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. You need to press the mouse button. I teach you that gamer strategy, like using your mouse to your advantage, going ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Don't go, oh, I'm going to go 20 contracts, 20, enter. Don't do that. I'd rather you click 10 times. 10 times. Make sense? You'll learn that in our strategies when we're talking about that. I was going to show something. Oh, I was going to show you add the crosses. And so on a play like this one, if I wanted to scale into that and add to that position, you'll see me do this in my, go watch my small account challenge that I did in one. You can watch me trading live right now. And this year, you can go back all the way back when I've done other live streamed events where I've done competitions. I beat the very first guy that I ever beat was Michael Oates. He called himself Oates to a Million. And, that guy blew out after 6 months. I kept going. I went for a year and a half. All that fully verified and tracked on Collective 2. Second one I beat was Macro Hedge. Third one, Ross Cameron. ICT went in there and, he's claiming that he's trading. I mean, I blew him out in a single day. And then now I'm kind of just trading against myself using the Enigma. Recently, ICT is supposedly wanted to do a trading competition with me, but he just talks about the Robins. I actually exposed the Robins when I looked into the Robins. The Robin is a gigantic fraud. They allowed me to open up 5 accounts. I dropped them 50 grand and I asked them to put $10,000 in 5 accounts. They said, okay. Is that a real trading competition when you could trade 5 accounts? It's so stupid. And they're not combined. You can just basically take any single account and whichever one shows up on the leaderboard, like you can basically run with that. They won't tell everybody that your other 4 accounts blew out or anything like that. Isn't that bullshit? It's not a real trading competition. But ICT knows you can do that. which is why he's starting accounts under his son's name and his name and all sorts of shit. So he wanted to be, oh, I beat Vinny. He fucking cheated. He wants to cheat. He's a fucking disgusting person. Almost as bad as Jigsaw. Jigsaw trading is the absolute worst. Peter Davies is the worst of the worst. He's addicted to drugs. He's a drug addict. He's a pedophile. And he lives in Thailand so he can bang little boys. It's gross. It's completely gross. Completely disgusting. We'll show more about him later this year. I have not forgotten about him. I promise I'm coming back. I'm going to destroy him. What he did to my family and he tried to do to my family. No. I don't think I've forgotten. Let's see. Quick 3-round bursts. Yes, exactly. That's the way to go. Oh, you didn't know all that? Yeah, go type in Jigsaw Review. Actually, I'd love it if you guys would do that. Type in Jigsaw Review anywhere and then select my video. And I've got a full 2.5 hours that I explain everything about Jigsaw, the history, and all the stuff that they did. He literally hired a hitman off of getbig.com. Pretty fucked up. But you know you're doing something right when you've got people who literally want to physically assault you and shut your business down. Day Trader Paradise, talk about John Matthew Cowart. That guy's disgusting. That guy sent his 16-year-old son because he was like, oh, well, I'll send a minor to go attack Vinny. He had a 16-year-old son, so he's going to come around. You know, he talks all thug and everything else, and he's all like, I'm going to come around. I'm going to drive by your house. I'm going to beat you up. Okay, bro. 16-year-old kid. So it's like, how do you fight back? Do you not fight back? It's like, if you fight back, then he starts claiming that you're attacking a minor. If you do, you don't. You're basically, he tries to put you in a position. Now he's out there. Oh, Vinny called my son. What? I didn't call your son. Your son called me. I didn't even know who he was. Didn't identify himself. I mean, he did. I thought he was lying. Dude, it's disgusting. I'm going to show you guys all the scammers this year. I am launching scammers.io. I'm hiring a web developer to put the whole thing together, and I'm just going to brain dump everything that we've discovered on these scammers, and scammers.io will become the authority on all things scammers, and we'll just tell the truth. We will set a standard. We will go, look, our standard, we believe, and again, I'll even let you get away with 6 months. If you could show me somebody with a 6-month verified track record, dude, I'll even let that go. You just started up, you got a cool piece of software. I'm not expecting you to sit there and spend an entire year like I did. And by the way, do I hold myself to my own standard? Yes. We came out year number 1, and I live streamed every single day, 2016. It's basically every single day, but you know what I mean? Like, we were out there day after day after day after day, live streaming 2016. Somebody said, hey, you should do a trading competition. You should do it fully verified. Cool. I did a trade copy service on Collective 2 where people could actually copy my trades in Forex. I did it in Forex so that you could copy them because we wouldn't impact the markets because Forex is decentralized. So, no problem. I proved that our system works on Forex. I did that for a year and a half, 138% return. Pretty good for Forex. We ran a $50,000 account up to $118,000. Pretty decent. We can do way better in futures because there's way better leverage. But Collective 2 can't handle futures. Futures, they've got futures on there. But if you try to trade like I do, where you do multi-contracts and you tat to enter, they throttle you. They can't handle it. There's just their servers all crash and break, and they can't do trade copy. And that's how they make their money, is off of trade copy. So, they're not inclined to fix it either. And Collective 2, like, they almost went out of business for a while there because they just don't do enough business. They did a whole angel fund to try to save themselves and stay in business, but they're not very good. Their servers are too weak. I don't know. Maybe they fixed it now, but I've been told before, oh, maybe they fixed it. I went back in, tested it. It was still broke. So, don't believe everything you hear. So many videos. How do I get started on AlgoBox Pro guided list? Guided list also outdated. Included new indicators. Yeah, I mean, that's true. Yeah, you have to kind of keep up with the most recent stuff. That's the thing about software is the most recent stuff is more important. However, I think that the old stuff is important as well. There's 107 videos. If you join our training program, it's 107 videos. Take you about 40 days to finish it from end to end. But we teach you everything you need to know to run our system. And as far as getting started, let me show you real quick how to get started. Because it can be overwhelming if you're just kind of jumping into stuff. But up here at the top, we have a getting started section. So right here, we've got kind of some color-coded buttons. I don't know if it's as obvious as it should be to people, but so we've got a little red section up here for kind of announcements and generalized stuff about me. And we got a cool scripture passages here on prosperity and being rich in the kingdom of God as well as here in heaven. That's pretty cool stuff there. To start with, and he says in scripture, seek ye first the kingdom of God first, and all these things will be added to you. So that's pretty cool. We got all that there. Then getting started with us right here, getting started. there is a section right here, and you can click on that right there. It says start here. So click right there, start here, and I'll kind of give you a walkthrough of what that'll be. Scroll up to the top. This is going to kind of give you a, hey, overall, what's going on here. This is going to be step 1 to install things. I do think, hey, go ahead and go through the steps of installing everything. You need to understand about your hardware. If you're like, well, I don't know what to do with my hardware and things of that sort, because again, we are using your PC to its max. We are trying to let your system be the brains and do all the interpretations and all the calculations right there on your machine. Step 4, step 5, data feed setups and workspaces. So the first 6 videos are really getting set up. Okay, but let's say that you're a person, you've already passed that, you've got a PC, you know all that stuff, you don't want to install, you don't care about the install, you can do that easily, cool. And you want to start right down here on the AlgoBoxPro.com training videos, right there. Okay, so I'll click on that link, that'll take you to our website. I'm going to open this in a new tab. So first 6 videos, as it says, now there is a walkthrough here. This video will actually walk you through exactly what I'm about to do right now. So you can either listen to me over there doing that, or just know these first 6 videos, as it says, setup and installation. Okay, same 6 videos from the other side there. Again, this is for the people that just come to our website and they want to get started. So you could technically skip this and go to the next library. We actually have 6 libraries here on the website. So we want to jump over here into those. These are all free. So come here to library number 2, go through lessons 7 through 12. After 7 through 12, we're going to click on library 3. Go to the next one. So lessons 13 through 18 and so forth. You get the whole point, right? Library 4, library 5, library 6. Now, when you finish these, you are going to have a very solid foundation of how we do what we do here. You're going to see our not all of our strategies, but you're going to learn enough of our strategies, understand the high time frames, kind of the things I quickly ran through what we did here tonight at the very beginning of this video on how we filter, how we take 5 time frames into account. Even if you're trading with ICT, Inner Circle Trader, or any of these other fake gurus who talk to you about multi-time frame analysis. They're like, oh, I'm going to start at the weekly. Then they flip charts and they go to the, oh, I'm going to go to the daily. Now they flip a chart. Then go to the 4 hour. Then they flip a chart. Oh, no, I go down to the hourly. Oh, no, I flip a chart. Now I go down to 15 minute. Oh, now I flip a chart. Now I go down to the 5. Oh, I flip a chart. Now I go down to 3s. They sit there and they just hunt around until they find, a setup that worked. And they're like, oh, see, told you it worked. I mean, cut that out. Y'all need to cut it out. Now, you do need multiple time frame analysis, but you should really, it's the year 2023, folks. Like, you should really start to use technology to your advantage. If you're not, I mean, what are you doing? All right, trying to make a telephone call in 2023 with a payphone or a rotary dial. What are you doing? Like, I'm trying to make a chart, Vinny. Stupid. Look, you're stupid. You have a smartphone in your pocket, so you may as well be smart. Use technology just like you do in your, pockets. Probably a good idea, right? If you want to download our software, all that's up here. Click on download, click form to fill out right there, and download it. 2-week free trial, and our room is free. Come hang out. You want to check out some of the results from our room? I think the best kind of testimonials are just straight up results. Like, I don't ask people to write me a raving review. Oh, Vinny's the greatest. Oh yeah, he's really good. I really learned a lot from it, bro. You see that everywhere. What I want to see is results. Come over here, look at results. Let's click on the results. This is what matters. Can other people duplicate what I'm doing? He's 80% profitable, 4K on the day, profit factor 7.56. That means his winners were 7.5 times the size of his losers. Here's what his P&L looked like. Did he have some losers? Yes. Did he have a drawdown? Yes. Cool. Here we go. Here's Mike Shorts. You're gonna be like, oh well, yeah, but Mike Shorts, he's probably, he probably gets paid to support your stuff. Well, he's affiliate like anybody else is. Okay, but yes, he did 80% there. Or profit factor. Okay, well, let's see. How about the guys who are not part of your crew? Okay, how about Whiskers? 100% profitable on the day, 1,400. How about JVB? No, these guys are not associated with me whatsoever. 100%, $700 on the day. Here we go. Here's Masher. Look, somebody who had a tough day. He drew down. Well, let's see what his max drawdown was here on this. Max drawdown, minus 780. Still came up on the day. Still made it out. Made $120 that day. Appreciate him. Again, tough day, but he came back, made some money. Tough one, very tough one. But folks, we show transparency. Here's another one from Roberto, crushing it. That's awesome. Let's scroll down. Aaron, how'd he do? 100%, 6 trades, 3,200 on the day. IT Jedi started out the day in the negative, but let's look at the difference here. From the low of day, traversing up, not just a single trade, not YOLO trading it, multi-trades up, closes the day at 3K on the day. Let's look at the individual stats themselves because that matters. Oh, he didn't post the stats. That's okay. But hey, the story is here. Numbers of trades, that's up to those 33 trades right there, based on that right there. Now, it's not 33 trades this year, it's 33 clicks. So keep that in mind. Yeah, you want to see, traders doing what we do here. It's pretty cool. Go check it out. We've literally got hundreds of these. If I just press the page up button, let's see how long I can press this page up for. I'll just hold page up until I get the next question. Who's got a question? Vinny, currently I'm a fundamentals trader. Usually trade the fundamental sentiments. Yeah. Quick change. Is there any way I can get entry through help of AlgoBox? Yes. So if you're a fundamentals trader, let me show you something really cool that we have that you probably don't have in any other room. Now, depending on what you mean by fundamentals, because that's also definitionally challenging because all kinds of people have different meanings for what fundamentals mean. But how about, do you trade on sentiment? My question back to you, do you trade on sentiment? And how do you get that sentiment? How do you know what the sentiment is based on what instruments you trade? Let me ask that along with that question is, Dilitha, what instruments do you trade? Are you trading stocks, Forex, futures, crypto? What do you trade? But watch this. Sentiment all is the command. We pull this from Twitter traders. So as of right now, if you went to our room and typed !sentiment all, our sentiment bot, the sentient being that is collecting information off of Twitter based on what people are talking about on Twitter, we literally are parsing the text that we're collecting from as many day traders as are out there claiming themselves to be day traders anyways, and getting positive or negative sentiment value on each instrument that we trade. So you could technically, if you are a sentiment trader, this is technically a fundamental, but I don't see you answering my question back. So like I'm having a one-way conversation here. You asked a question, but this is one way. But as far as how will we help you? First of all, I'd tell you, honest. Let me tell you a secret. Number one, stop trading fundamentals. There's way better ways to trade, bro. If you want to make money, I'm just saying. Okay. If you're wanting to trade, day trade, and do this as an income generator versus an investment, then you would probably want to come down here and use the. Technically, we use technical analysis, but it's way more than TA. TA, people think, draw lines on charts and whatnot, but we've got order flow balanced in with technical analysis and structure and price action all combined, which is why our traders do so much better than most traders. Invest tools, yeah, invest tools, man. The 13 points of fundamentals, yeah. Trade Forex, commodities, sentiment, mean by fundamental change of the currency. Fundamental change of the currency. That's a really weird way to say that. A fundamental change of the currency. That's not fundamentals, bro. Fundamentals is like some underlying reason for why the currency changed, because the federal policy on cryptocurrency changed, and therefore, so that's a fundamental directional change in difference in holding for depending on what time frames that you're looking at. But does our system work on Forex? Yes. I think I heard somebody come on the microphone. Let me turn up my volume there. Did somebody come on the mic?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had a question about the excuse me. Yeah, I had a question about the Enigma. And I was looking at when you were going through the charts.
Okay.
And sometimes the signals will come in. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I was looking at how you're going through the charts, and sometimes the signal will come in while price is going through an accumulation phase. And
Something happened to your microphone. Hold on. It was fine there, and then all of a sudden, it went to nothing. I can barely hear you. You know what? It's probably one of those Windows 10 things. You'll have to go into your microphone settings and put it back up. It's probably dropped down to like 20%, 30%. I hate it when it does that. Let me maybe I can pause my music. I'll try to listen. Okay, talk to me one more time. I got the music paused.
Yeah, is it better?
Oh, nice. Was that what it was? Did it go down? Was it down? What percentage? I'm actually curious because I want to fix that mic thing one day.
Hold on. How about this?
Oh yeah, it sounds great.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was my gain, my microphone gain.
The microphone gain? Yeah, I kind of figured. Okay, cool. Yeah. I hear you loud and clear. So say that one more time. You said something about, so we're looking at the Enigma. Okay, let me pull over my Enigma.
Yeah.
Yes, got it.
Yeah, so when you were going through the charts, and sometimes the signal will come in while price is in an accumulation zone, I was noticing a pattern where it seemed like it looked like it would be a good point to enter if you waited until the price goes into a distribution leg in the direction of that signal and then enter. And I was wondering if that would be like a valid a way to enter
Okay,
and
so
to
I'm going to
trade.
draw it on the charts here and see, make sure that I'm following. But I believe what he's saying is, so we've got our chart square right here, and he's saying, so if he's inside of an accumulation zone, so let's draw our blue box inside here, and our price is moving around here. We're going in and out, back and forth. So he is saying is an enigma shows up. So if we got an enigma green, shows up down here. But you were saying enter in after the distribution leg comes after the most recent one. So you're saying that, like, even if this were to pop out, but if it came back up and through, you're saying that as it becomes a distribution leg, you're saying you could enter in up here in the direction of the most recent enigma. Am I understanding that correctly? Does that sound right? I mean, it sounds pretty cool. Does that make sense? Am I saying, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, yeah. Like where because that we always want to ride the distribution leg and avoid the chop. So I'm
Okay.
thinking because it could always go the opposite way. You never know. We just pay in probabilities. So
Okay.
I'm thinking when we have the confirmation of when it breaks out of that accumulation zone and it's in the direction of that signal, then I'm wondering if that will also be a valid way to enter.
Okay. So can you see what I'm drawing on YouTube now?
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay. So I think, did I draw that up properly? It's kind of what an idea of what you're saying, like waiting until it comes out here, right? And on its distribution leg on the way up, because with the most recent signal was a green. I just want to make sure that I'm drawing this properly before, yeah, I don't want to incorrectly say, I think this, I'm drawing out what I believe you're saying. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Like the green signal, and then price is coming out of the accumulation zone, and it's looking to be the start of a distribution leg
Okay.
to enter.
So let me ask this question here. Now, as long as the accumulation zone is at least semi long, so you'd have to do some. Here's where this comes in, where you got some discretion. Okay, the discretion would come into how long has your distribute, or how long is your accumulation gone? Because what tends to happen. Well, let me ask your question to, or a question back to you is, what would you use as your signal to get in? Is it simply a breakout? So then basically the blue line right here, the breakout of that accumulation zone, you enter immediately in the direction of the enigma, or something else
Yeah,
as an entry.
yeah. I thought about that because you would definitely have to anchor your stop somewhere. So definitely a double cross or a an AO cross
Okay.
that's on that
Yeah.
distribution
Perfect.
leg
Now I
is the
love where you're going. I led you to where I'm hoping you were going. Great. So you get in, yes, as long as you've got something else here, like, because oftentimes what happens, right? We bust out and then the first move is a fake back in, right? So I would be a little bit concerned with that, but as long as you understand that, I see no issue with necessarily doing that. Again, if this is in the direction of the MACV Ultimate, at the end of the day, if you're coming up on that side, that's great. But oftentimes, you can still, you come up to the top of this, it breaks out, by a few ticks, and then it comes back down inside. You'll see me as I'm drawing these accumulation zones, like this one right here. This is a perfect example right here. Like if this were coming out here, like, let's say that there was a red enigma prior, right? But then you'd be like, oh, I'm entering in right there. But how many times you see the first move out or the second move out, even the third or fourth, sometimes they're just still coming right back in. You got to be, the dangerous parts are scenarios like that. We kind of had that today. Super slow action. Even NASDAQ was moving slow. It was in that accumulation zone back and forth. It was a tough day. I come away with a minus 4K day, right? Like that was a tough day for me today. It's a Monday. And what's crazy, if I had been in a better frame of mind, I woke up literally on the wrong side of the bed today. Okay, like I'm finally dead asleep. Like I'm gonna give my wife a hard time here for a minute. Like I am dead asleep. I hardly ever get any sleep, right? But I am out, right? And my wife comes in and wakes me up. Oh, Vinny, I'm like, oh, is there something emergency going on? And she's like, oh, well, I saw this alert on my phone. I thought, like, you woke me up because something on your phone. Like I don't know. I was super annoyed by it, but I'm like I was dead asleep, like out, finally asleep, where I need some recovery time. Like you guys know, like I'll do a lot of late nights. I'll get a lot of code done. I'm staying up late after the kids are put together. But the next, I'm like getting woken up early. I woke up pissed off, And I continued my day pissed off all the way through, coming up to my office. Everything just was not in a good place. I come up to my desk. I've got problems with OBS this morning. I can't get the thing to go. I have to clear my database this morning because NinjaTrader is getting me frustrated right now. I got to put out a new release on Wednesday that hopefully fixes a few of these things. I ended up having to call Curtis this morning because we're all backed up on all the things that came in from over the weekend. We've got a lot of things that came in on me, but I'm like, I wanted to be in there in the morning to do the morning session right after 10:30. It took me an hour before I even got on the live stream. So now I'm pushing into lunchtime, not taking into account that it's lunchtime. Just a lot of things, like super frustrating from my standpoint. I even, I yelled at somebody who was in our live stream, whatnot. It's just not a good day, right? Like for me personally. And that's going to happen sometimes, but I could have just easily not traded, but I have committed myself to be out here every day. So, I'm forcing myself, and I call that stream pressure, and stream pressure is not good. I do not recommend anybody going out there who, look, I applaud you guys. I love you guys. Even River, I think you were a guy who went out there and was like, I'm going to live stream my trades, but bro, I think you felt the pressure that I was telling you about. I do not recommend anyone. Do not live stream your trading, folks. Record it. That's fine. Come back later, but you cannot deal with the additional pressure of the eyeballs from the world. You've got to be good at your trading. You cannot go out there and live stream your trading. I'm telling you, it is way too difficult. And this is coming from somebody who, I'm good at this. I'm very good at this. And yet I will tell you, I feel the pressure. I know the pressure. You don't want to do that. So this is a shout out to everybody who appreciate you guys who are doing it, but don't. All right. And don't trade while you're angry. Okay. Don't trade while you're pissed off. What I should have done this morning was gone back to sleep, said, F off. I needed some sleep, but at that point I'm like, fine, you want me out? I get out, so I'm all up. And
you could do something. You could do something like Mike Schwartz has done. He's recorded his trades and then go back over it and he does like a voiceover. You could do stuff like that.
Yeah. Now, who are you saying does that?
Mike Schwartz. He done videos like that.
Oh, Mike Schwartz. Yeah, no, absolutely. In fact, he was talking to me the other day. He was thinking about live streaming. I told him, like, man, look, dude, I would still, I'm telling you, like, just don't do the live streaming thing. You are opening yourself up for all kinds of malicious attacks. You're opening yourself up for the verbal assaults, the mental assaults. And even when you're going to, if you have an idea in your head, I'll tell you the one that's the most pressure for me is if I want to flip my idea. If I'm like, yeah, I'm getting long. Oh, no. And you will see where your scenario, we're like, no, I should be short here. Again, remember, the market's only 50-50. But the pressure of knowing that everybody thinks that you've gone long, you're saying long, you're going to go long, and then you reverse and go back the other way. And you don't have time to explain to everybody what you see, what you say, but in your mind, you will hesitate to do it, and you won't do it oftentimes. And it's just not a good place. You're not going to trade well, okay? And the whole point of what you need to be doing is trading well. And you're not going to be coming out here making money on YouTube. I don't even make money on YouTube. I have my YouTube, all my monetization is turned off. Okay, I make $0 from YouTube, right? So don't do it. Just encouraging you. Now, for your own self, I do think it is very helpful for you to record yourself trading. And I do think that there is a lot of value to that, running back, playing it back, even for myself, especially even on mainly your loser days. The days that you lose, you really go back and watch, you will learn so much, I promise you, from playing those back. So do record yourself. But don't try to put the additional pressure in real time with hundreds of eyeballs on you while you are doing it in real time. It's just not cool. Okay. But hopefully, okay, so I don't know if I answered the question there. As you're breaking up and out of here, you're asking me, is that a valid strategy? I'd say no. Okay, I don't think it's a valid strategy. I do not think this is more dangerous because you'll ultimately, I think the best plays here are the ones that as they fake out of here, I can get the most amount of ticks riding this back in the other direction all the way back down to the other side. I would rather enter in on enigmas inside of those as they are near an edge wall than to enter in outside. And I would still also rather take those as they are on the extremes of those locations. And I'd still rather also just go ahead and, we'll take a quick stop out because there's so much value even from like entering in what I'd shown. Like let's draw this box again. So if I am entering in on a green enigma on this side, I now, regardless of whether we go out or not, this space is oftentimes 20 ticks. Like the smallest zone that you usually see, even off of the ones, is still like 20 ticks, right? So why not just enter in down here in T1, T2? So a lot of times people forget. I am telling you, to make a living, you need to make a living off of what? What should I say there? Who knows what I'm going to say here? T1, T2. That's right. You said T1, T2. Give yourself a gold star. That is exactly right. You live on T1, T2. Okay? Everything else is bonus. So the trade that you're talking about is you're trying to catch a bonus, right? You're trying to catch big trades. Like, look, I get it. I know what you're saying. You're trying to catch big trades. That's fancy. That's nice. Okay, that's cool, dude. That's sexy catching the big trades. But listen, trading when you're trying to make a living, it's not about being sexy or catching the coolest trades. All right, T1, T2 taking your bag. T1, T2 taking a bag. T1, T2 taking bags. Okay, that's more important. Right now, when you catch those, why not just do what I'm saying here? Catch the bag from here to here, and if you see the opportunity to add to position up here, go for it. Because at that point, you've got space to work with too, right? And P&L to already work with, right? So if it does go wrong on you, and you can close out halfway through the position and literally have either a scratch trade or a no trade. So I think what I would say is that's riskier and it's not necessary, and you could probably make more money the other way. And it's just, is it bad what you're saying? No, not necessarily, but I'm giving you the risks and the warning of why I probably would not recommend that. Now, I'd love to see, do some back tests on it. Show me, right? Be like, oh, here's one, here's one, here's one, here's one. Cool. You prove to me that it works. But the stuff that I've seen, that I would say that tends to be more risky. When I get a double cross up here, and you already know, I get a double cross up here, I'm reversing that sucker first. And by the way, I'm not reversing it all the way to go to the other side of the moon. But I want inside of here, I want T1, I want T2. Okay, I'll get my T1, T2 bag. I'll take my $350. Thank you very much. Sure, I'll take that 350. Oh, another. Oh, you want to make back the other way? Oh, I'll take another $350. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. I'll take that right away, sir. That's the way that I teach it. So yeah, T1, T2.
Yeah. You already said it, because that was really my main concern about whether it would be valid or not. Those head fakes, but the way you drew it out. Yeah, that's actually how I've been entering in on my enigmas. Cause I've already posted some videos in the Discord, and most of the ones that I posted, they went exactly like how you just drew it out. Like I enter right when the signal comes in.
Beautiful. Yeah, in the direction of the MACV on the other side of an accumulation zone, those are the best. Those are the absolute best. Now, what often happens, I wish I could see if I can clear this. Well, I don't know why this tool doesn't let me go back any farther than that, but all right, I'm going to draw it one more time. Draw another one. So we got our accumulation zone. And let's say that the first one comes up. And so we're coming here. And we go, it's going, it comes back down. Okay, stop out. Cool. Shouldn't be a big deal. Now, this one shows up. Okay. So let's say that this one, I went 4 contracts. What should I go in on this one? Or should I go in on this? This is the second one as I'm coming outside of the accumulation zone for the first time, and it's another green. Number 1 question, should I get in? Question 2, how many contracts should I get in if I should get in? Let's everybody answer that in the chat. What do you guys got for that one?
Oh wait, could you say that again? How many?
Can you see the screenshot on the? I know there's a YouTube delay if you're trying to talk to me here in the Discord channel chat. But you see what I'm drawing on the YouTube there? Should I take this second enigma long?
Oh. Well, technically, it's breaking down out of the accumulation zone.
It is breaking down out of the accumulation zone. Yes. MACVU is what color? Because I'm saying MACVU green. This is MACVU filtered on, so I get a green.
Yeah, take a loan. Take a loan because it's at the bottom of an accumulation zone and you have that space above.
Yes, even though it broke out, folks, I'm telling you, how many times you'll hear this. Other places teach this as well. I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm the only guy who ever taught that you break out on a Zoom accumulation. In fact, I was literally the inventor of the wham, right? I tell you guys the wham. What's the wham? Like the first little peek out, slam it back inside, whether it's a wedge or a channel, right? That's what we're doing. But this is a cooler tool for it, which is why we don't even draw them anymore. I don't even talk about the wham anymore, right? But the wham is whack-a-mole, right? We play whack-a-mole game. You guys remember that game? Whack-a-mole. Sucker sticks his head up. He's like, that smiley face. Right? breaking back down inside. Same thing, coming down here, boom, I want to smack that guy right back inside, and the Enigma shows up down here. Yes, I'm getting in, but I'm going +1, right? I've got to at least go, according to hours, you got to go 5 contracts now. Oftentimes, because I kind of go in pairs, I will tend to go 6. So if you said 6 or you said 8 or any increment that is not the same, as long as you don't say 4 contracts or you don't say 2, you're not getting in less. Now I'm going in more on this. Remember, you generally want to increase your trade size from trades 1 through 5 with a gaming system like ours, and then make it pay you. Okay. So same stats, boom, now we're ready to go. Pow, I'm in, I want to go. And now, so this is sort of that scenario plus I could get in, and then I could also add to my position right here, because what's this? This is a 2-try rule. Okay. So I could technically, somebody asked, how would I add to a position right here? This is a scenario where I could also add right here as it comes back inside. And this will happen quite often. You will see this a lot. You will make a lot of money off of that second one. This is basically kind of like our double dot in our Fibella dot. But now imagine a double dot Enigma, right? We call it a double Enigma. We call it, the double moon, something like that. We'll come up with some kind of clever name for it, but this is just as powerful as our double dot here, if not, well, forget as powerful. It is way more powerful because the Enigma itself has so much going on inside. I'm telling you right now, you want to smash that. All right. And oftentimes you're going to hit that T1, T2 plus runners all the way to the other side, exit right here. Because again, oftentimes you'll see some hit right here and it'll come right back down and in. Got to be careful. But some of the biggest plays will come out of 2 of these back-to-backs, and then we see a big run out, especially if we start to get an AO around this area. And AOs, you will learn how to trade those. Follow Mike Schwartz. Go watch his videos on the Alpha Omega crosses, and he'll teach you how to trade the first one versus the second one. Could call it the yin yang. Yeah. I mean, there's definitely 2. We could call it the Gemini. I'm kind of really want to work the Gemini and the twins, right? But yeah, we'll work through that. The 2 Nigma. I like it. Vinny, how much does a cluster influence if it's close to an AZ? It's like a magnet. Oh, like a magnet, meaning it was already there, like a cluster that was previously there. Of course, yeah, obviously, definitely a magnet. But what in real time, depending on where that cluster is located, same thing. Cluster in general, I want to reverse it. I love when a cluster shows up at the top of one of these zones, right? Cross, all this stuff. That means a lot of people are trying to get in. They're usually getting the wrong side direction. Boom, end up dropping back down inside. Now, if that cluster happens here, so again, location. If we are accumulation zone, we have prices come through doing this, and we're coming out, and we've got a 2-legged move right here. Remember, 2 legs. Okay, leg 1. Let me draw it. Dot. There's leg. Dot. There's leg. 2 legs. I don't care what the size of them are, as long as there are 2 legs out of the accumulation zone. And if my cluster shows up here, now I'm using this as a double cross, double move, and I'm looking for the long continuation in the direction as we bust up and out of there, because we're assuming this is now a distribution leg. We're up and out. Let's go. Especially if the price has nearly recently come down here, come out, and move back in and start doing this, because everybody down here got wrecked. Okay, these are the biggest, strongest plays. When everybody down here got wrecked, okay, boom. Now, oftentimes we will catch Enigmas down here. These are the absolute best, is when you catch an Enigma that busted right outside. Take that first Enigma back inside. And oftentimes, again, easy to the other side. And if it keeps on going, these are the ones you're getting huge home runs off of an Enigma that popped outside of accumulation zone. Or you can just wait on one of those. If you want that strategy, you want to wait on the Enigma that pops outside of accumulation zone, take the first one back inside, count your money. Okay? Start counting. Another great way to play that. Use dot indicator with Enigma. Yes, absolutely. You can use it the same way that we use it any other time. You can use it for partial exits. You can use it for ads. So like, let's say you take in the Enigma, and then right here we get a green dot. Okay, so it would be kind of one of these. Boom, shows up right there. That is an add to position. ETP, add to position. Okay. We get a cross right there. Cross in the middle of a zone. Sure, add to position all the way to the other side. So that's why I always say, like, try the first thing, draw an accumulation zone. Before you do anything, find an accumulation zone. You'll find yourself in better positions. You don't have to. I'll tell you something. Like, you don't have to. You can be the laziest trader on earth with our system. Let the system do the work. You can visually see accumulation zones. You know, you don't have to draw them out. I like to draw them. particularly when I'm in live streams, because I am trying to do more demonstrations when I'm out there on those. I did tell you I wanted to add crosses here, right? So we see if we had an opportunity to add to a position. Let's do, we'll do dots and crosses here and see if we have an opportunity here to add to our position. This is how, because someone was asking how would I add to a position through this. So I'm going to go into crosses, Flowmaster, cross, there we go. Flowmaster crosses, and I'm going to go ahead and add Fibelidots, Fibelidot-Pro. I'm just going to leave it in defaults for right now. Done OK. Down to 1x because I have to print the next bar. So calculating, boom, done. All right, so someone's asking, well, how would we have added to that position? On a dot, on a cross. So if someone was, yeah, it doesn't matter which ones. You can add as many as you want, up to you, depending on, you know, your own account size. Okay, like me, like I want to get into a full position. It's 16 contracts for me. I consider that full. Toe in the water. So we've got multiple sizes. What are they? You should know this. Toe in the water, quarter position, half position, full, full plus. That's your 5 positions. Okay, so depending on what your max size is based on your account, your comfort level, you need to divide those out. Make sure that you have a comfortable level with what is your, you need to be able to answer this. What is your toe in the water? Is it 1 contract? Is it 2 contracts? On the minis, is it minis? Because technically minis allow you even more flexibility because on the, I'm sorry, the micros, the minis, my apologies, I'm saying micros. Micros are 1/10 of a mini, right? So now if you're like, well, 1 contract might be too big, my account's really small. Okay, so then you do micros. What's micros? Micro is 1/10 of that. So maybe toe in the water is 4 micros. Okay, that's still less than half of 1 single contract. You guys get that, right? Maybe it's 5. Now you need to know what your max is because max micros you can do is 50 contracts. Everybody know that? We should talk about the max. Some people don't know this. You're like, well, Vinny, why is your max 40? Okay, again, things that people don't know. Okay. Okay, again, it varies per instrument, but in general, 50 contracts on anything minis and micros, and 100 for the ES. Also, ZBs, super thick markets, they'll let you go up to 100 contracts. But in general, talk to your broker on this. But the brokers that we use, it's going to be 50. Everybody's like, well, yeah, Vinny, why don't you just make $1 billion if you're trying to just get these back? Again, you don't understand thinness of the markets. You don't understand volume. I get it. You guys run your mouths because you're stupid. You come from ICT shop. I get it. But if you want to get smart, come here. We'll educate you properly, and you'll know real facts. So 100 max on there. So if you're like, well, why do I only do 40? Why don't I do 50, Vinny? Because, dude, if you ever slip click, how many of you slip click before, right? So I'm thinking of getting in 40, depending on what I've got over on my side. I'm and all of a sudden, I'm at 42. I can still do that. If I accidentally slip click and it's at 44, I'm okay. If I am perfectly trying to time it out to get 50, which by the way, 50 is not easily divisible by 4. It is divided by 2. But sometimes I go 4 contracts at a time when I'm getting big, right? So in that scenario, what if I slip click and go too big? And all of a sudden, boom, I get this big error message that pops back at me. I've got to deal with contract closures. I've got to deal with error messages, all that kind of stuff. You don't want that to occur, right? So, it's just a general idea around where that is. Now, I could do for ES, sure, you go 100, but again, ES is too slow. You're sitting there, you're waiting all day. In general, it's too slow. However, what happens on a day that the market's super fast? Well, that's awesome. Now the speed, which is why we have the speedometer, you can find an instrument, which I did at the very beginning of this entire little mentorship that we did here tonight. I talked about speed. How did I choose my instrument? I went and I found out which one is the right speed right now. So it's real easy. Just look right here and here and here and here. See which one. See what I mean by ES? ES right now, it's a 13. This is like this is snooze fest. 13? That's so slow. That sucks. Where's the one that's 100? Okay, this one's 47. This one's 52. That's good. 220. A little bit too fast, but I actually still like 200. Again, it depends on who you are. It depends on how good you get with this stuff. On the ones, I want to be around 100. Everything else, I want to be somewhere in the neighborhood between 50 and 100. But on the ones, I want to be around. We talk about that. We got a whole speedometer video. You guys can go check that out, and you got that on your systems all installed for you. That other question there. Contracts, excellent stuff there. We covered a lot. 2 hours. Thanks for hanging out here tonight. Love you guys. See you in the morning. I'm out.